Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 13, episode 3, and today we continue our first season back in England with a European super club in Chelsea, and my word, it's been a brilliant start so far. Just one defeat in our 9 games, leaving us top of the Premier League, unbeaten in the Europa League and still in the Carabao Cup as well. Everything is going as well as it could be. So as it stands, we are top on 24 points with a game in hand on the 2 teams below us. However, it's not quite as simple as that. Our game in hand is today against Manchester United, who are 4th, 3 points behind us, and as you can see, with by far the best goal difference in the league. And if they win today, they'll go top and we'll start to be in trouble, because that will then be 2 Premier League defeats in a row. We've already lost away at Arsenal, one of our rivals up there, and we've got United today, and a couple of others coming up as well, which is going to make it a difficult spell. But we've played some of the more friendly games on paper at the start of the season, and we've taken full advantage, and that's all we can possibly ask. I worry later in the season about the consequences of 3 or 4 competitions and a very old squad, so we take advantage now and hope for signings in January. The bank balance doesn't look great, the transfer budget isn't humongous, so we've got a lot of work to do. Don't be fooled by the table. As well as playing United today, we'll be playing our former head coach club here, Burnley, and also the club that we're now managing in our live stream series, which continued earlier this morning. So thank you so much to everyone who popped along. And if you're free on Tuesday mornings at 10 AM at any stage, come in and say hello. It's a great community. There's a full replay available. You can keep up with the chat. And I've really enjoyed starting to stream. So thank you very much for your support with it. If you are looking forward to this one though, please do put a thumbs up on it and subscribe down below to make sure you don't miss any of the action. But let's start by looking at the schedule to see just how well we've been getting on. So you were with me last, of course, as we played against Liverpool. We also showed our first European game against Slovan Bratislava, which was a really comfortable victory, and then probably the perfect away performance at Liverpool, hitting them on the break late on, and a comfortable 3-0 victory. And you can see largely that form has continued against sides that we should really be beating. So we won 4-1 at Reading in the Carabao Cup. Robson Ramos with a brace, Luke Henderson and Will Mealer, 2 of the homegrown youngsters getting goals as well. A 3-1 win away at Watford in the league, Zenit Gross getting a hat-trick. Away at Hibs in the Europa League, we required Fati and Mendes off the bench. We were really struggling, 1-0 down. One of those goals that hit the post then the keeper's head and went in, but we managed to get back on terms. Fati and Mendes came off the bench, Vinagre as well did too, and those 2 contributed to victory. A 2-1 win in our hardest game of the group probably. At home to Derby, we got back to good winning ways in the Premier League. 3-0, Mendes with the early goal, and then 2 from Harper before half-time. A really comfortable victory, and then a disappointing 1-0 defeat at Arsenal. They had a man sent off with 15 to go, and we were on top, but we just could not get that breakthrough. Will Mealer really struggling for Premier League goals. Considering how well he's rated, he doesn't score many, and that concerns me. He's not got any attributes or any traits that suggest he shouldn't. He just seems inconsistent, and that really is a concern for us. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with him. Zenit Gross definitely first choice now, but we did bounce back in midweek, a 2-0 win against Young Boys in the Europa League. Serrano and Rashford were first half goals. Rashford missed a penalty as well, I'm afraid, but we did get a comfortable victory. So away to our former side Burnley in the Carabao Cup to come. Of course, they'll have loads of players we recognise from that stream save. It's only 2 years later in the future in this one. So I tell you what, that's going to be an interesting moment for us. You can still see Xavier and Richards there, but we've got United to face first. It's the battle of the 2 teams that have started the best. Whoever wins is top of the Premier League come the end of this episode. So let's get into it. United slight favourites, Michael Oliver in charge. And let's see the 11 we've picked for it. So I mean, this has pretty much become our regular 18 now. We can't drop the likes of Mendes and Fati. We have slightly adapted the Mazzala role as we did away at City and against Liverpool in the last episode to a support duty against a big side. But other than that, the tactic stays the same. DJ Akobe in goal, Hakimi, Al-Jahani, Abdullah and Vinagre the back 4. We have dropped those wing-backs to support and we've kept it that way. It really has worked very well for us. Yepes alongside Harper in the middle, Mendes, Fathi and Andrew in the attacking midfield 3, and Zenit Gross up front on his own. Now let's see if we can get a result. A draw is positive, a win is fantastic. What we don't want to do is get hammered. 4-2-3-1. We've been matched up by United. Only one real player left in their side, and it's a pretty decent one in Kai Havertz. An elite midfielder, 73 goals in 247 appearances. I'd like to know the assist record as well. It's not a million miles away from that. So we're going to have to be very careful in this game. They've got a great side. They're winning games very comfortably. And although we can tell the lads to pick up where they left off, realistically, most of these boys didn't play against the Europa League side. They only played against Arsenal last. So let's get into the first half. We're at home. We're in the ascendancy. But United are a side we've got to be wary of. 15 minutes on the clock is a corner for United. Headed away, but Andrin can't get to it first. Delivered out wide to Janino again. You don't like anyone with that name, do you? Into the front post, Paredes heads over. But that was a gilt-edged chance and a warning sign already. Another corner for United. This is not looking good so far. Abdullah heads away. I want to have a look at the overall stats. To be honest, they've been better in our favour. But we've not really seen any sign of it. It's been quite cagey. But here's Paredes into Bayer. And that's not cagey at all. That is carving open a defence. Thankfully, the finish is wide at the far post. And we get away with yet another scare. Into 1 minute of stoppage time for the first half. And that is a horrendous tackle. What on earth was Gross doing? He's going to be off. That was ridiculous. He came flying in from a mile off. Where on earth did that come from? He's not a particularly aggressive man. He doesn't really put a tackle in. He's not even had a yellow card this season. I mean, where on earth did that come from? I've just got to go back and have a look. I had this with Dorkin in the other series and I had to do it with Aaron White. He has never ever had a red card in his whole career with Chelsea and in fact his whole professional career. That is his first red card and it is for an absolutely obscene tackle. It was grotesque. I mean, we've got to look at this again because we didn't really see much of the build-up in that highlight. So he's running down the wing. He's brought down from someone there and in his frustration, he just completely loses his head. He flies in from about 10 yards away. It's reminiscent, for anyone who doesn't know, Sol Davis on Ricardo Fuller. That's the tackle that reminisces. It's not by the corner flag, but aside from that, everything's identical. So we were the better side according to the stats, but we're going to have to go on the defensive now. So we're going to drop back to a balanced mentality. I'm going to have to sacrifice Andrin, and Will Miller will go up front, so we've got some sort of threat on the break. I don't know what to make of that. I'm almost left stunned by it. Into the second half we go. Well, I think what we can say at this point is a draw would be a good result. And with 20 minutes to go, we're holding out well so far. And we've now got an attacking chance with Hakimi. Yepes picks it up on the edge, into the box and it's headed away. And this is where we have to be wary. A long ball forward, Paredes brings it down. Two defenders against him, but he beats them easily. And he forces a good save from the keeper. The left back Vinagre gets there, away to Fathi, and I think we've got away with this. And in fact, it's turning into a counter. Mila's running off him, but he's going alone. Back to Yepes, and now Mendes, the man who's about to come off. He's been challenged, and I tell you what, he's come out of it with the ball still. Hakimi's overlapping, into Mila. What's he doing? Into Mila, who heads it back out wide. Mendes comes in, and in the end, it's a good save. But why on earth did Mila head it back to the defender? I don't understand what he was doing. He didn't even try to shoot. Mendes will be replaced. It's going to be Serrano. He is just about the quickest player in the league, or the most fit player in the league, so let's get him out there. Harper's nervous. We need Artur on. He's got to control the game in possession. 15 minutes to go. United still not had a shot on target. But they are on the attack now with Murrell, and Capelli picks it up in central midfield. 8 minutes to go, and it would be devastating to lose it here. Greenwood gives it away though. Abdullah goes long. Will Mila's in one-on-one. Can he beat the defender who's come back at him? He can't, and he can't beat the keeper either. It's a corner kick, and it wasn't the greatest finish. But Artur will deliver, and he's got great delivery as well. Headed to the edge. Serrano's there. Oh, he's put it wide. Didn't even work the keeper. Anywhere that side of the goal it was in. The keeper wasn't getting there. There were bodies in the way of his line. But unfortunately, it's not to be, and we've now got stoppage time. 3 minutes of it. And we're going to survive it. It's a 0-0 draw. I appreciate not the best game to start the episode on camera, but given the circumstances, a fantastic result. I have no idea how Zenit Gross lost his head, but we stay top of the Premier League with a fantastic fought-out point. Aside, don't forget, with the best goal difference in the league, they'd been hammering sides. I mean, what on earth do we do with that? It's going to get extended, isn't it? We've got to fine him his wages. Absolutely mindless. He's never had one before. It's so out of character, but it was so bad. It really was bad. Let's not talk about anyone else. I don't deal with the transfer stuff. He's going to be back in the side, but I'm almost left astounded by it. I don't know what to say. We'll be back in a moment for the Carabao Cup tie against our former club Burnley. A few familiar faces from the live stream series and from earlier in this one too. And we'll be playing them twice in a week as well, but the first one live here on the channel. Here we go then, Burnley in the Carabao Cup. If you haven't had enough from this team today already, there's going to be a bit of deja vu here. Scott Cuthbert, the former Luton and Stevenage defender, in charge of them. And they're down in 17th, which I think we've shown in the stream series is a little bit of a poor performance. And to be honest, even in the head coach, we finished 7th with them before leaving. So let's have a look at who they've got and who we don't recognise. So Millet we sold, he's there. They've got Ed Seekins. No way. We're bringing a third wheel into this. Last 2 seasons at Gladbach. Ed Seekins is now their star striker. Sunday Balogun's still there. That's really bizarre. Does that mean Leon Lowry's not even getting a chance? He's not getting a chance, really. What a strange set of circumstances. Most of the rest of the team we recognise. Millet was sold in our series. On the left wing, they've got an experienced Korean winger and an experienced Polish winger on the right. Hurtado at right back. Good young Mexican defender. I don't actually know why they're 17th. They've got another centre-half as well, who's not great. There's some slightly strange decisions there, but we're going to go and pick our team, and we'll be back in a moment with the lineup. Okay, so we've rotated as much as we possibly can, but I'm not going to go quite as weak as the Europa League, because there's no real second chance here. We have to get through. So we've rotated the keeper. Perez is in goal. Hakimi stays at right back. Al-Jahani stays at centre-half, but Henderson and Ortega come in alongside them. Rest for Abdullah, and then at left-back for Vinagre as well. But there's not really much between those guys. Anjorin's in the middle still. Obviously, the man sacrificed at half-time against United. And Arthur's in alongside him at central midfield. I was going to go for Harper, but he's a little bit down on morale as well. So Arthur's played well when he's come in, and we can always change it later in the game. Serrano in on the right wing, Rashford on the left. Again, very strong replacements. And then Ramos behind Mila up front. If Gross had been fit and not suspended, he probably would have played in this. But as it is, this is the team we rely on. So I'm a little bit worried about Mila's lack of goals. He scores the odd one, but given the chances he has, he's not been particularly great. And in fact, he's not scored in the last 5. So let's go and warn him. We'll do the usual chat. It worked in yesterday's episode with Dawkins, so we'll try it again here. Let's see if it makes a difference. Into the Carabao Cup 4th round, and we need to make sure we stay in the hunt for trophies. 4-2-3-1 as expected for Burnley, and there is goal threats in that side. They've got Ed Seekins up front, Sunday Balogun in on the left wing, Leon Lowry and Trevor O'Callaghan on the bench. The likes of Edmonds there as well. Rob Simpson playing at left back, something I'd probably look to exploit. He's become natural there, but I tell you what, I reckon we can get down the wing with Serrano. In midfield, a lot of experience. Wasn't he a winger? He can play in there, but there's some strange selection choices. I don't think Cuthbert's going to last long, let's put it that way. But let's go and get the lads to prove a point, get into this game, and hopefully go one better than we did against United. We've got against the previous side, something we always love. So let's see if we can come out on top. Early on, Hakimi's got the ball at right back, just 10 on the clock, and Serrano picks it up. We talked about this, and he skinned Simpson on the outside. The right footer, he's not really used to it. Serrano delivers Rashford's header, and it's poor. It really should have been better in truth. Unfortunately, made it easy for the keeper. It's a long kick downfield, which is going to find the right back Hakimi, and give us a chance to push forward on the break again. Down the line to Anjorin, Back inside to Al-Jahani. And now Hakimi as well. We're just keeping the ball nicely. No real pressure. And the tempo is speeding up nicely. Artur finds Ramos. Runs alone. That is an absolutely world-class finish. Ramos took it on his left side. And a fantastic effort. Not the best long shot rate in there. But an elite player despite being our third choice striker. And he's pushing to go ahead of Mila in the pecking order. The only thing that's stopping it at the moment is probably the fact that Mila's homegrown. A brilliant start to the match. Just 10 minutes to go to the break as Ortega takes a throw into Ramos, who dropped very deep there for a shadow striker. But Ortega goes long, and maybe it was all part of the master plan. Mila picks it up on the left. There's 2 in the box. Trying to turn provider. Flauhaut wins it off him though. Really poor from Mila again. Cannot get any form into that kid. Seekins holds it up and finds Millet. A man who was sold obviously in our series. But here he comes again. Back to Robinson. Feels like I'm commentating on Burnley again. I've been doing it earlier today already. Ramos finds Rashford. Back to Artur. Into Ortega. And now we can break on the left. We just need the second here. I'm sure it'll break the spirit of Burnley as Rashford comes down the wing. Into the box to Serrano. Into Ramos. He's got to score. He falls for Mila. And he does score. And for the second time in 2 days on the channel, That chat works. The individual chat about not scoring but having faith to get back to scoring ways. It worked yesterday with Jeff Coppens and it has worked today with Will Mealer. Fantastic effort and 2-0 lead at half time. And just 3 games away from a Carabao Cup victory and trophy. Let's make sure we don't throw this away. We'll tell the lads we're pleased. They're all delighted. Now let's keep it up in the second half. Artur with a corner. 5 minutes into the second. Seekins heads away and it falls for Hurtado. I've got to say, the only frustration looking at the other fixtures, as we'll hold that thought, Balogun going alone, we know how good he can be. Oh, he's turned him sideways. It's a great effort. And Perez tips it wide for a corner, which Balogun will presumably take. In swinging delivery, we will come back to that point in a moment. It's delivered to the back post. Serrano away, falls for the winger. Back to Zhang. He's got a man out right, but he's gone inside instead. And he's going to be forced backwards. Brilliant pressing. Simpson on halfway and all the way back to the keeper. But the point I was going to make, if you look at those other fixtures, all of the big teams are playing a smaller team and it gives them a chance to get through. As Balogun delivers, Perez holds. Really good goalkeeping again. Let's see if we can get a third here and we'll think about changes in a moment. Is Perez with the roll out to Henderson. Keeping it in his own box. No risk there, please. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Stop taking risks. Henderson goes wide. Ortega picks it up. Brilliant work. He's got an overlap from Rashford, but he's going alone. Taking the fullback away. A really clever run from Rashford. Ortega delivers. Angerin heads. And it's a good save from Hilson flying to his right. Brilliant work from the left back though. Hilson the goalkeeper. Long ball downfield. And who's going to win it? Hakimi does. Finds Serrano. Chance on the overlap. Finds Hakimi again. We'll probably rest him as well now. If we can get a third, I'll rest all of them. And Serrano's going to try and create that. Back to Angerin. Into Artur. Oh, that was almost sublime. 35 yards just wide of the post. But let's make some changes. We're going to try and rest the first teamers. So Angerin is going to be replaced in midfield. On for him will be Harper. Not ideal as a Mazzala, but I tell you what, we don't really want to play Yepes who's not fit. So Harper will go onto the left side as a Mazzala on support. Or maybe even box to box. Is he as good as that? Yeah, we'll do him as box to box. And then Artur will be a deep line playmaker on support still. At right back, Hakimi needs a rest. I don't know who to bring on for him. I think we're going to go Mendes and drop Serrano to right back. And then Al Jahani will be replaced by Godfrey. They're the 3 changes we've made. Let's hope we don't give the game away. Leon Lowry in a very dangerous position on that right wing. We've seen him cause so much trouble there in our other series and in this one previously, to be fair. We've got a corner though and it's headed to Rashford. Will Mealer, oh, he scored again. He has curled in a brilliant effort. He did so away at Liverpool in the last episode. He's had a poor goal drought, but today he has 2. And this should build his confidence. And we need that because Groves is going to be out for another couple of games. 10 minutes to go. Leon Lowry's got a knock for Burnley. And we are undoubtedly through to the last 8 of the Cup. Unfortunately, Liverpool and United are going the same way. So we've got to hope they draw each other. But 3 minutes to go. The game is almost up. And we've got a corner to perhaps put gloss on it. Headed away by Robinson. Finds Flauhaut, who hacks downfield, but only finds Serrano. Can we get one more? Out to Mendes. Let's build that ruthless streak. A chance to deliver. Beats the fullback. 2 in the middle. One's Rashford. Blocked away and cleared. Simpson to halfway to Seekins. A Gladbach hero, but now playing his trade at Burnley and not able to lay a glove on us with Chelsea here. The final whistle goes. It's a 3-0 win. And overall, I'd say that's a pretty good episode. A wonderful result. We're into the last 8. And let's go and find out who we get in the draw. The final bit of the episode, the quarter-final draw for the Carabao Cup. Let's see who we get. We'll take Ipswich away, but they've got Liverpool. So that's probably Liverpool in the last 4. Manchester City are home to Leeds. Manchester United, please don't be us. Oh, it is. It is. Man United, Chelsea, and that means Norwich Stoke. That's not ideal. Manchester United, the side who we've just drawn against, are the team that we face in the quarter-final. Probably the best side in England, if we're being honest. It's going to make it difficult. But either way, we've got to beat the best if we want to win competitions. And we've got our first massive test in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. So let's have a look when that's scheduled for. That's ideal, actually. We'll come back for that. We've got the final Europa League game, but we already know we're through. We've won all 3. We're on 9 points. There's no way we're not getting through in that. We'll be able to see our Premier League progress at that point as well. We've got Premier League game around against Tottenham. I think they're up there, are they? No, not this season. So who else is the other side? Norwich away. We might just make it one game. We'll have a youth intake preview, a transfer window preview. I'm sure there'll be lots to get through, but we may show a Premier League game too. But if you did enjoy this episode and that brilliant performance in the Cup, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Again, thank you to everyone who joined for the Burnley live stream earlier today. We do go live every Tuesday at 10 AM now, and I've really enjoyed it, so I will be streaming more in the future. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that Zenit Gross challenge and how on earth it came about. For a man with no career red card, to see the red miss like that is absolutely astonishing. But we still got the draw and didn't concede a shot on target, so a brilliant result in my book. If you haven't already, subscribe down below and turn those notifications on. You'll get alerts of daily FM20 content, also notifications when we go live for our streams, 2 episodes a week from Cricket 19 and a weekly stadium review as well. And please do check out the podcast channel in the eye above. It's growing rapidly with interviews, predictions and podcasts too. So thank you so much for your incredible support, and I hope you continue to enjoy the content. But a big thanks for watching this one and your continued support of the series with Chelsea. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you next time for the Carabao Cup quarter-final, as we face the best side on paper in England.